Hey y'all, thank you so much for checking out my behind the scenes video for Legends of the Fall. I've been creating on YouTube for a bit over a year now, so I thought it was high time I made one of these videos, and the Ludlows seemed the perfect one to do it for. Making this video was really important to me. The piece is by James Horner, who is my favorite composer. He's had the biggest influence on me as a person and as a musician. And a couple years ago, when I found out that he died, I started to dedicate the month of June to his music. So back in January of this year, I decided that this June I was going to do the Ludlows. This piece is really special to me. I actually started out playing viola and then I switched to violin when I was about 15 or so. And this piece is one of the first things that I remember learning on the violin. I loved it so much that I made my mom, she plays piano, I made her learn it so we could play it as a duet. I played it for at least 3 recitals as a teenager. I used it to audition for a gig, and it's still my go-to thing to play when people ask me to play them something on my violin. So it's been really central to me as a violinist. It feels like home, this piece does. And one of the times when I was practicing to make this cover, my mom came into my room and she goes, "Why are you practicing that piece? You've been practicing that your whole life." And it really does feel like that. It's been so important to me for so long. So because of all of that, I really tried to refine my process for this cover so I can make it the best I possibly could. And that brings me to my process. That makes me sound way too official. And that brings me to my method. Nope. And that brings me to my sequence of events that I have devised in order to make my covers. So the first thing that I do is I learn the plain melody by ear, I memorize it, practice it, and then I will noodle around with it to make my own arrangement, something that I'm happy with. And then I keep it all in my head. So the number one question I get asked is, do I have sheet music? And the answer to that is no, just because I just do it all from my head. So I am actually working on creating a Patreon right now, which will have sheet music as a reward tier, along with tons of other cool stuff like spontaneous haikus, so stay tuned for that. But as of right now, I don't have any sheet music. But luckily for this cover, I made the arrangement years ago because I've been playing it for so long, so I didn't have to work on that this time, which was nice. So after I've done all of my practicing, I record on my trusty SE Electronics mic. I record the violin solo first without a backtrack because I always want my covers to be like I'm telling you a story, and my solo violin line is acting as my voice, in which I do that. So I try to have that the strongest factor, and I want it to be able to stand alone without any backtrack, so that's why I do it that way. Getting my recording as clean as possible was really, really important to me, and also being able to say everything that I wanted to through my recording was also really important. So I was so stressed about getting this as good as I possibly could that it took me 10 hours to record for this not even 6-minute long song. So you'll see in some of the behind the scenes footage, I've got a giant red mark on my neck, and that was from recording for so long, but I wanted to make it as good as I possibly could and give it everything I had, and I think I did. Once I'm done recording, then it's time to make the backtrack. So I use Logic Pro X as my software to do that, and I also record into Logic as well. I won't go too into the process of making the backtrack because it's extremely arduous and took me forever, but it basically consisted of taking a 4-second segment of the song, listening to it about 30 times in a row with my ear pressed against the speaker, picking out all the different instruments, then figuring out what they were doing, memorizing it, and then replicating it with my software instruments, and then putting my own spin on it, and just repeating that until I had the entire song finished. The final thing I do is film the video and edit it. So I was really fortunate because we had these incredible locations really accessible and at hand, and I think they looked amazing, and they matched the film so well, and I couldn't be more pleased with them. And I was also really fortunate because my mom and sister are willing to help me with my outdoor video shoots, and I could not do it without them. So massive thanks to them. And we all take it really seriously. We try to produce the best thing possible, take it as seriously as we can, and we have no fun doing it.
Yeah, we're recording now. Yeah.
Who am I? That can be my thumbnail, the smolder.
Well, it is recorded, so you know. We have this for posterity.
Oh no. My arm. Where's my
Okay,
rock?
go.
Oh.
Let's break them down.
Alright.
Take 2.
You can't see my belt brace, so it doesn't matter that it's like moving all over the place.
You can barely see it.
Okay, that's fine.
Your belts move. That's fine.
Belts. Belts. Oh yeah! Wait, the point of belts is that so they don't move.
It's so your pants don't move.
Yeah, so theoretically the belt shouldn't move.
You know,
because if your belt's moving, then the pants are moving.
Continuity person, and you also need to watch your bangs.
This is all on camera.
Okay.
Watch your belt and your bangs.
My belt and my bangs and my bow
And your boots.
and my boots, cause we're brilliant.
Boo.
Anybody want a peanut? Yeah, we're all goofballs. I had to acquire an excellent poker face because I would hear my mom and sister just talking about the most random and weird things while I was in the middle of a take trying to be all serious with my violin, and I failed a couple of times and had to redo the take because I could not keep a straight face.
Too bad you're missing the ankles. There's some good ankle movement.
I know.
Posing.
I know. I thought about that.
Dang it! Why do you have to do?
Because it's like with your boots and everything, it looks very nice.
Yeah, your boots are wasted right now.
You can't be crying right now. We're supposed to be filming.
Well, you had to distract me with the ankle posing. We had a great time filming. It was so fun. Just hanging out, shooting a video in the sweltering Texas heat.
Your face is slowly turning more red the more we film. It's hot.
It'll be gradual.
Hot.
But I was like, what did she do with the color grading? It's natural.
It's called Texas Heat. It's a
called
great filter on Photoshop
Texas,
right now.
You know, and it's completely free. I also had some enlightening conversations with my mom. I learned a lot about life. Or rather, death. I don't suppose you could sit closer so I can hear better.
I'll sit on the copperhead layer. That's going to be recorded for all history.
Well, we're gonna know our last words.
We already know our last words. We're not going to know them better after we're dead.
Oh yeah! Other people will know our
Yes.
last words.
There you go.
So there you go. There's a little sneak peek into my world making these videos. Thank you all so much for the overwhelmingly positive support you've given me. It really does mean a lot. I hope you all are doing well, and I'll catch you in the next video. Or you can catch me in one of my previous videos, which I'll have linked somewhere on the screen. It's up to you. Just a little food for thought.